Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sportsbook Review. I'm Peter Loshak. This is a daily live show that we do every day at 10:30. Mike Brenner, of course, is on location in Las Vegas with technical difficulties. So Jeff from BMOCWins.com, big man, is going to be the guest today. Jeff from BMOCWins.com. I know you can see me. Can you tell from my body language what's going on with me in general in my life right now?
Yeah, I can actually, probably.
What's that?
You look kind of uneasy. You look
totally the opposite. The answer is I'm doing baseball right now, Jeff.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's
MLB.
Yeah. I mean, that's typical. MLB is a shit show at times.
This is the body language of a currently successful handicapper in sports betting.
You threw me off, Peter. You look like you're irritated and pissed off.
All right, maybe I'm not that good at communicating via body language, but
now you look a little. Now you look a little better. You look fine now. You know. You look.
All right, maybe not. I'm doing well in MLB. I'm coming up an 8-4 day. Jeff from BMOCWins.com. My one big loser was the Dodgers. Everything else was the winner. I had a ballsy play with Pelfrey and Carnes on the under 8. And it cashed.
Nice. Hey, when you bet against Mike Pelfrey on an under, that's never safe. But you know what, Peter? The White Sox just can't hit right-handed pitching for some reason.
Yeah. They're excited for me, Jeff.
I'm very excited for you. I think that's
All right, okay. All right.
I'm a big fan of yours, Peter Loshak. You know that.
Okay, how you doing in baseball in general right now? You feel like you have a good feel on it?
Yeah. I mean, I took the whole month of April off pretty much to just kind of make sure I, could understand what was going on. But yeah, I pretty much know what's going on, just like normal. So yeah,
absolutely. That's a very important lesson in sports betting. Always only bet that which you are fully able to handicap and feel like you have a good handle on. If you feel like you don't have time or whatever, the mental wherewithal to get on top of a certain sport, take a month off, no problem at all. The worst thing you can do is force bets that you don't feel confident in.
There's just a lot of volatility, Peter, a lot of the time in April. I mean, a lot of things going on. I want to see the stars with a couple starts under their belt. I want to know what bullpens to avoid. There's a lot of things in baseball with so much information, so many months. It's not imperative that you bet the first month. Sometimes you just need to let the dust clear and then get involved, which, me and my partner, Donnie Wright, said he does the same thing. So, yeah, it's just something I like to do.
Yeah, well, one team that has had a surprisingly awesome bullpen is the White Sox, and that is why they are #1 in the MLB money standings, which not a lot of people saw coming. Their bullpen is a big reason why. Let's get into some of the games. Jeff from BMOCWins.com. Again, I had 12 plays yesterday. I actually had a few more, but one of them got rained out. And I think I might have 12 or 15 plays again today. What do you think about that?
Nothing wrong with that, Peter. Hey, if you like it, why not fire in? I'm not as high volume as you, but I will say this, Peter, when you have a feel in a game, you might as well go for it because if you have 12 games, you're going to win probably a percentage of those. So you're going to look good most of the time.
So let's just run down every game, and I'll tell you if I have a pick on it or not. And if you have a pick on, you have an opinion on it, obviously chime in. And if you have an official pick that you want to give, by all means, give it. Jeff from BMOCWins.com. First game on the card is Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. I bet this one on the under on the overnight at 8.5. It's now down to 8, and I think I'm still liking the under here. It's not a huge play, and I would have preferred the 8.5 on the overnight, but I think I'm going to take I think I will go with the under here. Nova's been good. Nova's been fine, and Edelman, a little bit iffy, but getting his strikeouts, hard to judge Cincinnati as a home dog here. But I think I'm leaning under, and you know what? I will give that one officially under 8 -103 is the current line. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm not crazy about Edelman, Peter, but I will say this: at home, I feel a little bit more good about it. Nova's been fantastic. I'm kind of ashamed that the Yankees let him go. As a fan, I would have liked to see them keep him around. He's been fantastic. Look, I mean, the Pirates have been a mess as far as lineup's concerned. Josh Harrison's been the only one with a little bit of a pulse, and he's their leadoff hitter. So, first 2 games of the series have been just all over the place. I don't have a particular feel in this game. I would probably lean Pirates here. I just like Nova a lot. I think he can give them, he's going 7 2/3 and a start, which is really impressive. So, I would lean Pirates here, but not not a particular big fan of this game. The Reds are coming back to normal, coming back to earth, which I think we all expected.
Yeah, Nova's off a complete game shutout, which sometimes it's not a good idea to take even a good pitcher off of a complete game shutout, even if his pitch count wasn't that high. But I'm going to take the under here at 8. Next game on the docket is Arizona-Washington. Shipley against Scherzer, a massive line here for Washington. And, don't forget, I mean, obviously Washington's been awesome, but Arizona, I believe they're top 5 in the money standings as well. So 2 top 5 teams. And Scherzer gave up 4 home runs in his last 2 games, both against the Mets. He has a great strikeout and walk numbers as always. I'm thinking about Arizona on the second half, and as far as the full game, it's going to be a pass for me. But if you gave me a free play, as horrible or as super questionable as Shipley is, I would probably take Arizona at this massive line.
Yeah, I mean, Shipley's a guy that's, kind of flip-flopped between the minors and the major leagues, trying to get that, I guess, 5th rotation spot. But, in his experiences in the major leagues, he's not been very good. 13 games, he's given up 14 home runs. His opponent batting average is near 300 last year. So now you got to go face a team in Washington on the road who has been murdering the ball lately, averaging like 9 runs a game. It's hard for me to fade Max Scherzer. He's one of those guys where you normally don't get a ton of value on him in games, so he's normally a pass, but I find it hard to believe that the Washington Nationals don't win this game. Peter, for me, I only back Arizona at home. On the road, they have been a totally different team. I'm not interested in that bullpen, and I'm not interested in Braden Shipley here.
Yeah, good points, but I am going to take Arizona on the second half line at plus 150. A big dog line there for Arizona on the second half. Good.
I think that's a good point by you because Washington's bullpen is one of the worst in the major leagues.
All right, next game on the docket, Oakland and Minnesota, and this is interesting. These Oakland-Minnesota totals have taken some interesting moves that have turned out to be right. Now we have Jarrell Cotton and Gibson, and both these guys are looking very vulnerable right now. Cotton has, I think, a nice future ahead of him, but right now he's having control and command issues with his arsenal of pitches, and Gibson, of course, has been getting crushed. The total is 9, but I'm seeing a little bit of action to the under. Probably someone is sitting out for Minnesota with the lineup announcement. I was leaning on the over at 9, considering how the last 2 games and the starting pitchers went. The last 2 games went in these starting pitchers. Seems like a no-brainer play. Some of the very recent line movement towards the under indicates to me that there's some big bats sitting out for one or both these teams. I think even with that, I would still be thinking about the over. What do you think?
Yeah, I've come out and said it. I think Oakland has the worst lineup in baseball. I mean, their lineup's brutal, and on the road they're just can't hit. I don't know. I mean, this is a pass for me. Gibson's a guy I just don't bet on at all. Cotton had 1 good start, and he's kind of reverted back to the norm.
Yes.
Both these games have gone over, and you mentioned, I think you made a great point, there could be people sitting out in this game. I have no feel in it. For me, I would over is probably the play when Kyle Gibson pitches, but Oakland is a team that can get shut down by Kyle Gibson. So I'll pass on this one.
Yeah, for sure. All right, now the next game is Texas-Houston. I previewed this series when it started, and I said I was going to be liking Houston maybe in every single game, and they have won the first 3 games so far. I cashed them yesterday, and I think I'm going to do it, go back to the well one more time. Simple play, Houston -1. Both starting pitchers are, okay, but questionable. So I think it just comes down to the big lineup edge that Houston has, and I will take Houston -1 as an official pick. Money line part -152, run line part +138, Houston -1. Kind of a no-brainer, right, Jeff?
Yeah, Houston looking like that team we thought they'd be. Really just been murdering the ball, playing great. Musgrove, I'm not a huge fan of, but I'm also not a big A.J. Griffin fan. And this Texas lineup just can't get going. They've been a mess on the road. I actually like that -1. I would. A guy on Twitter told me last night -1's always the play. I can't normally bet -1s, but yeah, if you can bet that, that's always a good value play, especially in this spot. You don't have to worry about that 1.5 as opposed to the 1.
All right, so I'm taking Houston -1. And by the way, the Oakland-Minnesota over, I'm going to pass on that one. I'm going to wait for a little bit more information. But so that's a pass one. Definitely putting Houston -1. And then the White Sox and KC, I cashed them under yesterday. And I think I'm going to go back to that well. I'm going to take the under in the White Sox and KC. Similar reasons for yesterday, except today we have 2 better pitchers, not lights out guys, Holland and Kennedy, but better pitchers. And I'm going to take the under again. I bet it on the overnight at 7.5. It is still 7.5. And I'll take that one, 7.5 -113, White Sox and KC. And I'm also thinking about throwing the first half under as well, which is 4 -103. I have to think about that one, but definitely going to put the full game under 7.5 -113. Jeff.
Yeah, quickly, Peter, if I can just mention Ian Kennedy. I've looked up him kind of specifically this year. I've read a little bit about him. His home run, his numbers are extremely better at
Yeah.
home as opposed to on the road. He's kind of found a home in Kansas City, if you will. Look, we've talked about issues with right-handed pitching. I kind of like the Royals' first five in this game. I'm going to look to them. I like them at home if I'm going to back them anywhere. Holland's been kind of, topsy-turvy over the last couple of years. Been decent so far, but he's a guy I think can be hit. I think they can scratch a run or two out against Holland here in the first five, but only first five. I don't want to deal with that bullpen.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to take the under 7.5 minus 113, and then Philly Cubs. The total on that one just came out. I jumped on the under at 7.5. Now it's down to a 6.5, and I think the under might still have some value here. And Philly as a huge dog, maybe on the run line or on the first 5 innings run line, something like that. I think I'm going to pull the trigger on that one. Eflin, another guy with some talent. He's gotten results. He'll probably regress going forward, but he's been effective so far. And I think we have reason to believe that it'll be effective here as well.
Why is John Lackey laying this kind of number? I mean, is anyone surprised like I am? I mean, obviously it's the Cubs, but I mean, John Lackey's been brutal. I mean, this year.
Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of Lackey. I think it's just a matter of the Cubs. I mean, you do see that a lot of times when these teams have huge lineup edges. A lot of times they'll be minus 200, minus 220 faves, even with mediocre or even bad starting pitching. We saw that with Boston last year, and a lot of times they did wind up being a good bet. All right, so I'm gonna wind up taking. I'm gonna look for low volatility here, and I'm going to take Philly on the first 5 innings run line. That's plus a half run, plus 105, and I'm also going to take a shot with Philly on the plus 1 line. The money line on that one is going to be plus 170 at plus 173. No, sorry, plus 173, and then the run line part of that for Philly will be minus 137, and so that'll be some plus money there. Philly plus 1 and the first 5 innings. Plus a half, and I guess I'll hold off on the under for now, although I did take it at 7.5, and I'm definitely leaning that way. Then the next one, Colorado, San Diego, Freeman and Perdomo. Perdomo's been interesting. Perdomo, came back from his shoulder injury and looking decent, and so I don't quite want to bet against him, but I'm going to take Colorado on the second half, minus 125. Just think they have a lineup edge there.
Yeah, anytime I can get San Diego at this price, I'm going to fade them. I can get Colorado minus 101 at 5 times. I like Freeland. I like the way he's pitched this year. Perdomo is a guy that I had my eye on last year. He's an independent league pitcher last year. He made it into the major leagues. You mentioned, he's never a guy you want to fade, but when I can get San Diego and fade them here, I'll do it. They're just a bad team. 101 is a good price. By the way, Peter, quickly, back to the Phillies. Over 3 team total plus 135 looks kind of enticing here. I think this team could scratch out some runs, especially against Lackey. So that might be a way to look in that game also.
I don't like it. If anything, I would take the under in that one at 3. But you might be right. I'm on unders in this one, and I'm going to take Philly and Colorado on the second half. Then Miami, Tampa Bay. I cashed for the over yesterday. I'd be leaning over again today, but I'm going to hold off on that one for now. Milwaukee, St. Louis. That's the game that I had on the under yesterday, and that game got rained out. And now I'm leaning under as well. I'll have to think about that one. Mets and Atlanta. The Mets have been strangely, at the beginning of the year, the Mets looked like they had kind of a weak lineup and some huge names in the starting rotation. So maybe you would have assumed low-scoring games and unders, but they've been a huge over-trender this year so far. I'm going to take an under on this one with Wheeler and Garcia. Wheeler's been getting a lot of strikeouts, giving up, some runs and some home runs. Still getting his strikeouts, though. And Garcia, with his smoke and mirrors, has been kind of effective. I think this is a spot where it's going to go under in the Mets game, and I'm going to take under 8.5 minus 113 in the Mets-Atlanta game.
2 bad bullpens, Peter. Mets pitching can't get anyone out seemingly. Atlanta's offense has been on fire lately. I like Jamie Garcia. I kind of like the Braves here at home. I do. The Mets are floundering right now. I can't get involved with them. And Wheeler's not been too effective.
Yeah, I also took a shot with the first 5 innings under as well. And you know what? I'll take that one. I will take that one as well. First 5 innings under 4.5 minus 110 in the Mets Atlanta game. Okay, and then let's see what else do we have. And then we have Angels and Seattle. I took that one at 8 as soon as it opened on the over. Now it's up to 8.5, and I would lean that way as well. Meyer is one of these huge, 6'9" guys with nice stuff, but his mechanics take a little bit of a time to refine, and it looks like he's not quite there yet. Miranda, also a guy with some nice stuff, but has control issues and can give up runs. So I'm leaning over with the Angels in Seattle. That was another one I was yesterday on the over yesterday. I'm leaning that way as well here. You have anything to say about that one?
Not particularly. Angels have played well, but Seattle at home is always a solid bet. But that bullpen's bad. You might want to look first 5 if you like Seattle here. Miranda good, but that bullpen is bad. 7.6 ERA at home, so you might want to look the first 5 there. No real opinion on that though.
So let me go over the official picks I've given so far. Pitt, Cincinnati under. Arizona second half at +150. Houston -1. White Sox, KC under 7.5. Philly first half run line and Philly +1 on the full game. Colorado second half, and I also took Mets Atlanta under 8.5 and the first half under 4.5 -110. Now let's go to some of the questions and comments here on YouTube. Sorry that I didn't get to any of these questions before now.
You were in a zone, Peter Loshak. You were in a
zone.
Go ahead. You were in a zone there.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
If
I didn't feel like I was doing so well in baseball right now, I'd be kind of like, let's make some jokes. Let's go to some comments. Let's chat a little bit about Danielle Bergoli and whatever. But no, I'm in a zone. And so I figure, let me give my baseball opinions because I think they do have some value right now. If I didn't think that, I would, it's true, be trying to deflect attention away a little bit from
we should get her on the show, Peter, to do some picks.
What'd you say?
We should get her on the show to do some picks. Picks with Danielle Bergoli.
Danielle, you got an extra 50 grand hanging around. You know what her appearance fee is? It's literally like $50,000. For 50 grand, we could do it. If SBR wants to.
Zach, if you're listening, let's get that out.
Yeah, I agree. It might be a good marketing move. Zach, we want the Cash Me Outside girl to join in as a guest on our betting shows. Probably will only take about 50 grand to get her to do one appearance, but Jeff and I both think it's worth it.
What a world we live in. She gets 50 grand.
All right, so let's see. Dan Kellerman Derek saying afternoon plays Philly. I like it as well. Colorado, yep, I'm leaning that way, although I'm taking it on the second half. And Dan Kellerman Derek contemplating White Sox as a dog. Wow, a lot of people liking White Sox today. I can't disagree with that. Again, I'm liking the under on that one. Let me see.
I gotta wonder what makes them like the White Sox today. I mean, this team can't hit right-handed pitching. They're just inept.
The first answer to that question is, as of right now, they're the #1 team in baseball in terms of the money standings, the single most profitable team in baseball. Just because of that, you could say, and KC has been terrible. So just because of that, you could.
They have the best team ERA in baseball too. I mean, we have to remember that the White Sox are #1. Go bullpen's fantastic. Listen. I mean, first 5 I think is to play with the Royals, but I could see them winning full game. Sure.
Yeah, so I can certainly understand that, but I'm going to take and Casey's been much worse on the road, not as bad. I actually think they might be profitable at home right now. So I'm going to take the under on that one. Let's see. Adam Lopez asking, where do you bet second half for baseball? A few books have it. The Chris books have it. Just Bet has it. Heritage has it. A bunch of them do have it. Bookmaker, PSI, all those. Let's see. Other things. Let's see. Schwarber is out for the Cubs. Interesting. That makes me like Philly. Dan Kellerman Derek saying love Philly first 5 this afternoon. I agree with you, Dan Kellerman Derek. I just gave him as an official pick on the run line. All right, let's see.
Schwarber being out actually, I think helps the Cubs. He's been a mess. Who? Schwarber's been a mess this year for the Cubs.
Yeah.
Hitting leadoff, he's been brutal.
Absolutely. Dan Kellerman Derek saying Hayward, Schwarber, Contreras, all out for Cubs. Got to take Philly with that line. Yes, absolutely. I'm on them. Let's see. Other comments here. Let's see. Going back. Let's see. KC can't hit a T-ball. KC hits lefties worse than the righties. Yes. Shipley was getting his ass kicked in the minors. Absolutely. Mike Brenner likes to make first 5 innings run line plays on favorites. That might be a good play right there. Washington on the first 5 because Scherzer might give up a home run or two, but Shipley looks like he's going to get crushed in the first 5 innings. Dan Kellerman Derek says Washington -1 for sure. That might be a good play, absolutely. Let's see. Odds couple fans saying Mets 75% overs hitting. Absolutely, I think that I'm going to be on the under today with them. And all right, that's all the comments that we have. Let's see, Cozart and Brandon Phillips sitting for Cincy. That's nice. All right, Robert Washington, what's your best 2 overs for MLB today? Well, my 2 favorite overs, I guess, might be, let me just see, best 2 overs. Let's see, I would say, The Angels in Seattle at about 8.5. And then after that, I don't know, actually. I'm liking mostly unders today. Maybe I take a shot with the Oakland, Minnesota at 9.
Maybe Phillies over, Phillies Cubs. I think 7. Obviously, it's been bet down from 8. Look, I don't think either of those starters are guys that are going to shut anyone down. I mean, Eflin, look, I think he's been resurgent, but I don't know how long that will last. And it's day baseball in Chicago, so I'm sure the ball will be flying out of the park.
Lackey, yeah, I don't like that one at all. I'm liking the under in that one.
Peter, you don't like any. You're not liking anything I'm giving out. What the hell's the problem?
I don't. Well, I got to be honest.
I know. I'm only kidding.
There's a lot of great things about me, but probably the single greatest thing about me is my honesty. So I have to be honest, right, Jeff?
Amen.
All right. Okay, that's about it. I think that will wrap it up for today's show. The Angels in Seattle over 8.5 is very tempting for me to give as a lean, but I think I will pass on that one. Milwaukee St. Louis under, very tempting for me to give as a lean. And the Oakland Minnesota over. Wow, now that one's been taking some money on the over. So yeah, I got to be leaning over on that one as well. But I think I'll just stick with the picks that I gave. Any final words, Jeff from BMOCWins.com?
People were saying, "What's your my play of the day?" Nationals team total over 4.5.
Yeah, that seems like kind of a no-brainer there. Yeah, I mean that's one of those team total overs that might go over in the third. Absolutely.
Yeah, everyone hit the like button, please.
Okay, yeah, everyone hit the like button. I think we can wrap it up. Jeff from BMOCWins.com. Thanks so much for joining us today.
No problem, Peter. Thank you.